morning, everybody. My question for you today is, what are you overcoming? And our verse is Romans 12, verse 21. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. You are either being overcome or you are overcomer. Which are you? Evil exists, and God calls us to overcome it. How do we do that? By being consistent with God's ways in our actions. We usually know what evil is, but we can also ask for God's wisdom to make the right decisions. Whether it's really big things or things we don't tend to think of as big, like how we eat, it's still important. I have no problem saying that white sugar is evil. It's an anti-nutrient that sucks nutrients out of your body and makes a mess of your immune system and many other things. It's really the last thing you need to be eating at this time of year. If you need some more encouragement to stay away from the sugar this holiday season, PM me on Facebook or reply to my email and ask for a list of things that sugar does to your body. And I will send you a link to that. Now, our recipe, for today is salmon scrambled egg. I am doing this as a single serving, so that's why it's egg, not eggs. And I'm only using one egg. Obviously, you could take this recipe and double it up if you wanted to serve it for more than one. But for what my purposes here, it was easier to just do in one single sitting. So we have a half a tablespoon of extra virgin coconut oil. That is actually already in the skillet back behind me on the stove. And I'm going ahead and turning that on because the pan needs to heat up a little bit before we pour the stuff in. And the coconut oil needs to melt. It's starting to get cold enough that it's solidifying. All right, and then we have one free-range egg, organic, and about a couple tablespoons of organic, unsweetened actually, coconut milk. Beating that up a bit, and then also add in approximately half a teaspoon of dried parsley. You could also use fresh, but you'd have to use a little more of it. Generally, the dried stuff is more concentrate. Now I'm using a little bit of dill, quarter of a teaspoon or less, and a sprinkle of Celtic sea salt. Mixing that into our egg and coconut milk mixture. See our pan's doing back there. Okay, and then in a medium to small skillet, we're going to cook this in that coconut oil and add in some salmon once it's pretty well cooked. And then actually after we're done cooking, we'll serve it topped with some avocado slices. Let's see if our pan is heated up enough or not over here. Okay, looking pretty good. Go ahead and put the egg in. All right, rinsing that out. The faster you get that rinsed off, the better, since egg doesn't do well at room temperature for extended periods of time. And just starting to cook a little bit, so pushing it around a little bit so that we get the cooked part off the bottom and cooking section. I don't have this burner on super high, so it is not cooking super fast. Also means it's not burning. The burner is getting hotter, so it's cooking a little bit faster. Let it cook for just a second here. And angle that over just a bit more. I think you're having trouble seeing me. And you can put, some, if you've actually got like some leftovers, you had some salmon last night or the night before, you could use a couple ounces of, wild caught salmon that you had already, cooked for yourself. I'm going to use a couple ounces actually of a wild caught unsalted canned salmon, because I didn't just have salmon, so that's an easier way for me to do that and not have to, cook fish and have a pan that I have to clean up right now. And then, so we're adding in some healthy fats with this. Besides obviously cooking it in coconut oil, we're adding the salmon, which is not only a source of protein, but also a source of fat. And then the avocado on top, which is going to further add even more healthy fats. Okay, we're getting fairly cooked here, so I'm going to go ahead and add in some salmon here. Pork here. Okay, mixing that in. Trying to give it a couple minutes to get the salmon actually hot. And actually, while that's finishing, I'm just going to turn that off. And of course, it being electric, it's still going to be cooking. And I've got a half avocado here, which I'm going to go ahead and quarter. And I'm using a ceramic pan so that it's not all right, got that cut up pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and put this onto my plate. Then we're going to go ahead and stick our avocado on top. A little bit more of that. Anyway, there is our salmon scrambled egg topped with a quarter of an avocado. So come back next week at 8 a.m. Tuesday for another recipe and, of course, another verse. I will see you then. Bye-bye.